Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another Last Epoch dev stream. I'm your host, Mike, and welcome to the show. Glad y'all could be here with me. And I'm ready to hop right in. Dark Swift, you'll be happy to know that you made me check to make sure my microphone wasn't on, because that was uncanny. Yes, Nopilos, this is the Last Epoch dev stream. I'm a senior developer for 11th Hour Games, and I work on Last Epoch every day. Thank you very much, Kedrick2. Kedrick2? Playing with my microphone volume a little bit here. Hey, Quiet. I don't have any big teasers for you in that third trance room yet. I mean, it's possible that I gave you a teaser a couple weeks ago. Remember that? Yeah? I don't look like a senior. No older than 55. That is true. I am not older than 55. Glad to have you with us, Jobscure. Happy you can make it directly instead of watching the VOD. You get to ask questions this way. The VOD's good too. You just get to see me make a fool of myself live, that's all. I get that mighty prefix. I'm really going to be on the lookout for some crafting materials this time. I tweaked the loot filter a little bit, but not too much. I think I'm just, not high enough level and I'm expecting a little too much, I mean, there's a nice base to start crafting on right there. We'll tack that over there. Pair of resistances. I feel like one of them's really low. Yeah, our void's low, so it's because we fractured doing this exact thing. Can we just smush these two items together? Can it just be perfect? Right? Look at that. When 8-3 comes up, can you braid your beard like a Viking? I've done that before. It hurts. I'll consider it, though. See what the wife says. Hello, Master Sword 1291. Thank you for hanging out. You're welcome for putting on the stream. Did you see that New World is an homage class? I did see your post about New World. I think it fits a little bit better there with the aesthetic and mechanics, Hello, Llama. How you doing? Will Warlock be cool? Oh yeah, Warlock will be cool. Warlock's got some unique mechanics that will really let it stand out in the Acolyte subclass. Oh, what to call it? Environment? Culture? They took your advice and Uncle Jeff's gonna have a bright future. Enjoy the new music tracks released on the YouTube channel. Keep up the dedication to quality. Yeah, quality reading skills right there. Thank you. I'll let the composers know. They've been working real hard. I do really love the music tracks that we have. It's like, I don't know, it's so cool to hear them get made as well. I really want to get one of them on here to, like, I guess show a little bit of the process a little bit more too. Because sometimes we get to see, like, work in progress versions of them, or like little snippets of them while they're working on it. It's really cool to hear them at those different stages, and like see the transformations they go through as they're making them. It's like it's a whole section of game design that I'd never given too much thought to before working on this project, but like always loved really good music in games. Like everything from like I use Zelda as an example, like the really early Zelda games where there's like where the consoles could only really do one note at a time, and that's why you get these like really memorable tracks. Like I bet everyone here can hum the original Mario Bros. Theme. Maybe not everyone, but like if you played them, you probably can still remember it, even if it was 20 years ago. And then like now we get like fully orchestral music, and the like Christopher Tin Baba Yetu for Civ 4. Such a great opening track for that game. And like I never really put too much thought into it before like hearing it get made. It's really cool. When does Last Epoch Battle Royale come out? Definitely post-launch if we do it. It's really cool to see Path of Exile going hard into that. It was a really, really great idea the first time around, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun this time around too, and they actually take some time to make it a little more polished. So we'll see what happens with that. It's definitely not on our 1.0 scope, I'll say that. We will eventually have a full OST, original soundtrack, available for download. That'll be part of... I'm pretty sure it's part of every single like supporter pack that was pre-purchasable. So it'll probably be like the high quality like FLAC files or something like that, part of Steam, as like a download in Steam or something like that. I don't know the details of how we'll do it, but that is something that's planned to be a full feature. Chatterboxy played different RPG games during this week, and I always missed LE action, so it seems LE is my jam, and it's only in beta. So thank you, HG. You're welcome. Thanks for having fun and playing our game. Master Sword 1291 asks, out of curiosity, will there be additional things added to make farming specific blessings in monoliths easier in the future? Yes. Worth picking up, I guess. Oh. Might be worth crafting on. We've got a raiding party. Oh, I forgot to thank Lone Star McFluffin when he came in with raiding party just before we started. So thank you, McFluffin. Welcome to the party. Also, Lizard IRL bringing in his peeps. About 65 people coming in between the two of them. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that. Glad to have you all with us. Coming from much more knowledgeable streamers than myself. Alright, is 11th Hour Games a small team? Are you the main guy? We're a medium-sized team probably now. I don't know what defines small. We're like relatively small compared to someone like, I don't know, Ubisoft or EA. We're tiny. But there are significantly smaller teams out there as well. Like, I'm one of the original people, but we've since coming through Kickstarter and early access and all those sorts of stuff, we've hired on a lot more people since the beginning. So it's still a pretty small team compared to a lot of studios out there. But yeah, there's enough of us. Feels good. How am I feeling, mate? Everything okay? I'm feeling quite good today, actually. Everything is okay. I had like 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep last night. So nice. So nice. Frailty, eh. Are you excited for Steam Deck? I'm cautiously optimistic for it. A little apprehensive in that it's another platform for us to design for, I guess. We're going to treat it a little bit like just a controller version of the game. Hopefully it'll handle it no problem. But we're not going to assume it'll work or anything like that until we've had a chance to test it and try it, which might be a while. But it looks real cool. As a gamer, I'm very excited for it. As a game developer, I'm apprehensive. Can you make a hidden track that you play backwards and gives a recipe for chicken fried steak? I mean, if we did exactly that now, you'd be looking for it, so... Or maybe it's already there. I guess I should also mention, if this is your first time here on the stream, we stream for charity, so any subs, donations, point redemption, any of the things that money goes into the stream, it goes immediately directly out at the end of the month to our charity. We switch charities every month, and this week we are doing the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which is that little thing up here. Still gonna use like which side everything's on. How is multiplayer support going? It's going pretty good. We've actually got we've been working on a multiplayer FAQ document that we're gonna upload hopefully pretty soon here. That will have a lot of information about how multiplayer is gonna work. Lots of details that I know a lot of people have been wondering about for a long time. So we should have that up fairly soon, which will answer a ton of your questions, and I'm sure it will not answer all of them and will spark many more as well. But we'll try and keep that as like a living document that will update all the time, and you know, as things change in it, as new questions get asked, as new questions get answered, we'll keep that up to date. But yeah, that'll be a forum post, so keep an eye out for that. It's not going out today, just for the record. I don't know exactly when it's going out. Ooh, what's this? I feel like I need to put something for other pieces of gear, because I think I'm just seeing relics and stuff, basically. In the Poiple. In the Poiple. If you ever think about expanding to consoles post 1.0, of course, yes, please implement local co-op and I insta-buy it. Yeah, that's something we love to do. Local co-op is a big undertaking, but it's not impossible. We've got a resub from XYMPH. Good cause. 2-month resub. Thank you very much, buddy. Glad to have you with us. BGSS? Oh, good news, thanks. Yes, good news. Good. Yeah, it's not a bad one. Let's take a brief break to try and craft this relic here. Maybe we can do well. Flip us over. We're gonna put int on, or minion damage. Minion damage. Let's start with minion damage. 94. Looks great. We'll go with some stability to start. Whew. Yeah. Alright. I think I might... like, do I keep crafting on it? That's the question, right? Int... okay, well, 97. Yeah, I keep crafting on it. But here is where I'm like, do I keep going? No, I don't keep going. That's alright. We're happy with that. We are happy with that. Let's flip back. I think that's an upgrade. Just because I'm pretty low on void res for the most part, really. We lose 6 int, but you know we get the res and a tiny bit of other stats, which is nice. So yeah, let's go for it. Feels good, man. When to expect the patch? I'm not 100% sure yet. When we get closer, we'll have a more solid timeline. I think I'm actually ready to just hop into the quests here for this one. I think I have enough stability to go all the way to the boss, and I just forgot that I'd already got the stability ready before we did, before we ended last time. Dark Swift, alright, time for the mind trip question. Alright, let's see if we can handle it. If you could travel back in time to the beginning of the project, what would you tell your old self from what you learned thus far in developing the game? Oh man, there's like a million things I'd like. It's all really boring technical stuff, but it'd just be like, don't use this, use that. Don't use this, use that. When you build this, you're gonna have to build it this way, so you don't rebuild it. You know, it would just be a lot of pretty boring stuff like that. That's really tricky because a lot of the stuff, like I really like where the project is, and I really like what it is, and it's always that like butterfly effect. You never know, like changing one thing might change something else. Like maybe if we didn't use the wrong technology for something for 6 months first before switching, we never would have met someone on a forum while looking for something else, and they never would have joined the project, or something like that, you know? I don't know, maybe it's sentimental, but nothing is what I'm going to say. Huh? Yeah. Or can I just bring the code base back with me? Fit on a flash drive, right? Boring and technical, you're all ears. I would detach the data from the UI for both the items and skills right from the start, instead of having to split them later. In your opinion, what's the scariest regular mob, not boss, for you? Anything that casts avalanche. I don't know why. I get stuck in them and die. I think like half my deaths are from avalanche so far. It's not a bad amulet. The dual damage type's a little meh. What are we? Oh yeah, we're way over. Alright, let's go. Let's stop stacking up modifiers, making this even harder. What was the most challenging in developing the game so far? It's kind of a cop-out answer, but by far multiplayer. Like, not even close. It's kind of a blanket answer too, but it's just like, if we weren't doing multiplayer at all, like if we just were like, this is a single player only game, we probably would have launched by now. Probably wouldn't have anywhere near as much interest as we do though, so. Who had the idea for the dev streams? Was it you, or are you the chosen one to do them? I can't remember who initially. We started doing dev streams actually years ago. So it's not a. This isn't like a new thing, even though it's new on this channel. We started doing them on my personal channel actually. I think it may have been me. I don't know. What am I doing here? We're going this way, that way, forwards, backwards, over the Irish Sea. Bottle of juice to give us a boost. And that's the life for me. Na 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 na. D&D dev one-shot episodes based in the world of Eterra when? Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Did a few, we've been playing a little D&D on the side, over the last year. We're like 6 sessions in or something. With some people on the team. Ton of fun. And we've got a bunch of gifted subs, 5 gifted subs from Dogdrin. Thank you very much. That's awesome. If you got one of those, congratulations. We'll just let those dlings play out. Still gotta fix those notifications. Remember, if you're watching and not playing multiplayer, like I think everyone else on the team is right now, I want a graphic for that. Like a Epoch themed graphic, you know. Bone Harvester. I love that weapon. I can't wait till we have like a proper... Oh, we did! I forgot. Wow. Wow. Funny that Last Epoch is played by more people than Wilson, which premiered a long time ago. You guys are releasing much bigger patches than they are for the full game. It's like... It's a bit of a different beast, but yeah. I remember Wilson's Kickstarter way back. And it still looks gorgeous. Even back then, when it was released as Umbra and the Kickstarter looked gorgeous. Silly archers, you're supposed to shoot where I'm going, not where I am. You've been watching FF14? Whoa, no, I haven't. I haven't been watching any FF14 play right recently. I caught a couple clips that people have linked me. Personal favorite ARPG currently besides Last Epoch? I mean, it's Diablo 2. It's still Diablo 2. It has been and will be Diablo 2. You're glossing over my question. Has there been... Oh, sorry. I didn't see it. My bad. Has there been an enemy type or environment that you wanted to add to the game but were limited based on unit? No. The reason... I feel like I answered this question already. The reason we haven't switched to a newer version of Unity... I think you asked this in Discord and I answered it there. It's... There needs to be something really specific that causes us to need to switch. So, like, there has to be some huge performance gain or some feature that we couldn't implement otherwise that needs us to switch. Or, like, the LTS version that we're on, long-term support, is being pushed out of support or something like that. Switching to a new version of Unity takes a lot of time for everyone on the team, not just a few people. It does take even more time for a few people, but it's like the whole QA team has to switch to that. Several developers have to switch to it, and then once it's decided that we're going to do it, it takes everyone loses a few days doing the switch, and it's just not worth it unless there's some big gain. There's no big gains like that in 2021 for us, so we're not switching yet. Like, the last time we switched, it was because they added nested prefabs, I think. I think that was the last reason. It's like it's such a huge increase to production of the workflow that it was well worth it. And the team is also smaller then. Mike sent you some juicy stuff. Yes, I saw. Sorry, I didn't reply. That's for you guys later, by the way. Yeah, that's right, Siege Golem. You scared. You scared. Not really paying attention to what I'm doing. I stopped doing quests again, and I just picked a random a random echo. Yeah, kind of a split focus dagger, but there's some gloves that'll make that dagger really good soon coming. Does that mean you'll play Diablo Res if you have spare time? Yeah. Even if I don't. Will you stream once the game is released? Like this game? Yeah, I have no idea the timeline on us not streaming anymore, but we don't have plans where it's like as soon as this happens we're gonna stop streaming or anything like that. Our performance updates planned. I'm sure it'll get better over time with optimization patches. Every single patch we do performance and optimization updates, so yes. Every single patch, no matter what. Sometimes they're little things, sometimes they're big things, they all add up. For example, I saw a patch note, I mentioned this one before, but I saw a patch note come through that was greatly improve the performance of gold. Like gold piles that drop to the ground. And I just made the same change for potions, so potions are now more performant. And work in multiplayer now too. I've been out of the loop. Has there been any updates on multiplayer? You haven't missed much. We are planning on releasing a forum post pretty soon here that will have a ton of info in it. Just a big FAQ of questions we get all the time regarding multiplayer stuff. We're just formatting that and making sure there's no typos and mistakes, and we're happy with the answers and stuff. You know how it is. And we'll keep that up to date as a living document as we progress. No performance gains over a 2-year updated engine. Seems like there have been quite a few changes looking at their changelog, but then again, I'm not developer side law. Yeah, there are performance gains for lots of different things. They have to be a pretty big change to have a significant enough impact for like the majority case. If that makes any sense? Like the performance bottlenecks for us aren't problems with the engine. Okay, it's stuff that our code does. So updating the engine won't fix those performance bottlenecks. Generally won't. So we don't get like, maybe if we update the engine and there's nothing that's like specific to the way we do things, we might get a frame for everyone. And like it's hard to tell how much it's going to be, but we can usually tell there's certain things that we can tell will have big impacts. And if we see one of those, that's when we jump on it. It's not like we'll never update again. It's just, there has to be a really good reason. We haven't seen a really good reason. Tons of questions here. Okay, let's see what we got. Don't lie, you did little extra echoes on purpose to get rid of modifiers for the boss. Yeah, I was really paying attention and like I was like really optimizing that boss echo ratio. No, I have no idea. Have you considered any other graphics engines than Unity? Yeah, lots. Once again, the time it would take to switch is unbelievable. Like, switch to Unreal right now, we're going to delay the game 2 years, you know? Like, that's what would happen. Which I know none of you want. So we're not doing that. Is there an Xbox version in the works? Not specifically. We do things all the time. We're doing things that will make an Xbox version easier to make. So things like... He just evaporated. I just feel bad for him. Things like just improved controller support. There's a ton of stuff happening with controller support, with inventory organization and manipulation with the controller. I don't know if that'll be next patch or not. I hope it is, but huge improvements there coming. Like being able to, like, with a controller, have it like move on like tiles and pick things up and move them around and place them down with a controller instead of having to use the mouse, like a virtual mouse, sorry. Sorry, a helicopter went by. Alright, here we go. Boss time! Boss time! Any fun insight into your comment about Abyssal Echoes, or is that too spoilery? The base mechanics aren't changing much. I saw a lot of people speculating about that. I shouldn't have said forget everything, you know. There's a tweak to the base mechanics. The tree got rebuilt from scratch, though. It's a lot more active and has a lot more synergies with other skills. That's part of the thing we were trying to show in the nodes we teased. It has synergies with the new skill that was spoiled. Void Cleave has synergies with it as well. Like, there's things for Abyssal Echoes on the new Void Cleave tree, which is cool. We're trying to get that inter-skill synergies happening more. Like like Rogue has a lot of them. Have you considered any... Yeah, went through that. I was wondering what your opinion on Grim Dawn. Love it. Totally appropriate question to ask. You're welcome to ask my opinion on any game out there. I may or may not answer, but Grim Dawn, love it. Huge fan. One thing I really like about Grim Dawn that I think they do really well is the way they present rare, like just random rare enemies in the world. The lead up, the fight, and the post fight. I think they do all of that really well for random rare enemies. Sorry if you've been asked about this in a previous stream, but will there be more mana resource cost management methods added in the future for big mana spenders? Yeah, we're tweaking those. Specifically higher mana cost sentinel skills such as Forge Strike, Judgment, Erasing Strike, things like that. They're getting some tweaks to the way they handle mana a little bit to make them a little bit more viable as a like a secondary, or in some cases primary, but like to bring them along as a skill to make them more popular. Because we think they're really cool. How is the process of creating patch notes? Very briefly, since the post from GGG about the topic, I'm genuinely interested on how people do it. Ours is, I'm just trying to just power through a few of these before I actually start this boss fight. Sorry, guys. Update the game engine to Unreal 5? No. The patch notes thing, every time someone does something to the game that they feel is patch note worthy, they put it. We have a Discord that we run that's a development Discord parallel to our community Discord. Every time someone does something that they think is patch note worthy, it gets put in the patch notes channel, and that gets compiled into a document. That it's like just a document that just keeps going and going and going. And then once the patch happens, once we're like preparing for the patch directly, that document becomes made public. And basically every time someone getting close to the patch, people who did a lot of work on things that are patch noted go in and check their section of patch notes to make sure it was patch noted properly. So it's a group effort. We all kind of work on it. It's a ton of work. There are a couple people that do a lot more work on it than anyone else. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it because you do a fantastic job on it. I doubt they're listening, but just in case. Would you consider adding DLSS? Probably fix performance as well. That's not the performance problem, but yes, we would consider adding it if we could. Did you see the race to Orbis? I did not see it. I feel like I have some stuff bookmarked to watch for that, but I haven't watched it yet. There was some sort of like recap video that someone wants to link me for that. I would love that. Do you see PoE has Ward and Reaper skill now? I did. They're very different. Like the core, like the name and the thematics are kind of similar, but the mechanics are so different that will multiplayer be server side? Yes. Server authoritative multiplayer is a must in this genre. Do you like Titan Quest? Yeah, I played it on Switch recently. It was a ton of fun. I never played it initially. Okay, we're going into the fight. Which boss gives you the most trouble? The same one that gives everyone the most trouble. Logout. Yeah, that's Frozen Orb. Get out. Wait, yeah, this one. Yes. Come on. It has been a long time since I've done this fight. I helped do a few bug fixing stuff for this one. For a few skills that weren't working quite right. No, don't attack that guy. This isn't mercy, it's not healing me. It was funny, guys. Laugh. Come on. I know it wasn't actually funny. Don't worry.
Come, sons of Artor, aid me.
This is going pretty well. I thought this was going to be a lot harder. Like a lot harder. I know we're not out of the woods yet. Me saying that is just asking for trouble, but I was expecting a lot worse. No, attack that thing.
This is a mercy. Shatter. Do not stand in this way. Protect my people.
Fizzres, yeah. Yes. Ooh. A lot of fire damage. All right. Let's see, I missed a couple questions here. Have you considered making a PTR that has moddable options? No. And if you see a mod the community made, it can probably be implemented into the game. Yeah, having a modding community would be amazing. It's a lot of... there's a lot of stuff we would have to do to get modding up off the ground for the game that we're just not prepared to do yet. We'd love to. We can't. Pew! 1 of 3. Where are we going next? Are we going to Volcano Spirits, Fire Shamans, or The Last Ruin? I'm read a couple questions. People tell me what I should do, and I'll go to which one people say more. I think it's great that you play the game every Friday. Me too. Thanks. Mike, you said the new Abyssal Echoes has synergies with other skills. Does that mean it'll proc Lightning Blast? No. A good one. Kudos to the boss designers. Is one of the best aspects of the game. Thank you. I will pass that along. They do a great job. I'm still waiting for my Golomancer, which I assume the Wizard Boy's third aspects. Yeah. The Rune Master. I wouldn't call it a Golomancer, no. I see more last runes than anything else. We're going there. All right. All right, all right, all right. Oh, I lost some mages. I feel like Hero needs more cold res than he has right now. Probably shouldn't have been able to kick his butt that easy with almost pure cold damage. I mean, there's some fizz in there too, but it's a lot of cold damage. Because the archers are cold, the mages are cold. The zombies are necro and the warriors are physical, so it's not pure cold, but still. Will this character go to Empowered, or will you start a new one? I'm really having a lot of fun with this one, so I might go to Empowered. We'll see. I'll probably take a poll or something, see what people want. Do an actual poll instead of just ask for 2 seconds. Idols. Give me some good ones. Nada. Will you allow custom mods for Last Epoch's offline version? We're not going to do anything to help it happen until significantly after launch. Just, like, I shouldn't say significantly, until after launch. I have no idea what the timeline is on it. We don't have specific plans for modding. It's amazing. I think what it does to a lot of games is fantastic. And we'd love to see that, because there's so many great ideas that that people have, and it's kind of this like great way to involve the community and get people's feedback on the sorts of things they want to see, and have them try those things and be able to try those things out ourselves. Like, there's so many positive things about modding that we love. The big problem is we just don't have the time to set up those systems for people ourselves. So it's a discussion we're gonna have post-launch. Yeah. Do you watch Impractical Jokers? I don't. Don't know who that is. I recognize the name though. I feel like I've seen something with them before, but no, I don't know who it is. Sorry. When are the new classes? Well, they're not ready yet, so I don't know. But once they're closer to being ready, we'll have more information on that. Is there any updates you can publicly say about how trading will be in multiplayer? I remember you trying to get it to working the way it felt nice for people that wanted to loot and trade as well. Yeah, that is definitely a goal. We do want people to still go out into the world and find things themselves. The idea that trading becomes mandatory is not great as far as what we're hoping for. We are we'll have more info on trading stuff with the multiplayer FAQ I mentioned. I'm pretty sure there's a question in there about it. Favorite class archetype, like warrior, archer, mage, etc. That's so hard because it changes. It's kind of like whatever I feel like the most of the time. I think right now it's probably very much an archer style archetype. It's what I'm playing in D&D right now. yeah, I like things that shouldn't really work, I guess, is the biggest thing. Like, I remember I used to love playing Poison Dagger Necro in D2, because, you know, it's like you're playing a melee caster. Shouldn't really work. And, like, an Enchantress, a melee caster shouldn't really work. And I always find that really fun. I'm a mirror image from Q from that show? Alright. I like to think I'm very unique and special. Sorry. Can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at, right? Alright. Lizard, big one here. I know you guys have big plans for Arena. As we all know, Arena is very divisive game mode that some love and some hate. Those who love it really love it for what it is now. Do you guys intend to make the game mode more mainstream, even if that makes it not liked by those who love it and already invested a ton of time in it already? Thanks. It's a great question. It's a great question. The change, we don't have a ton of specific changes planned for the immediate future of the Arena. First off, there's not large sweeping changes coming through for that next patch, or likely even the patch after that. There's a few things about the Arena that we're not huge on. One of them is that who makes it to the top right now. A lot of that, there's a few things, like there's build crafting, there's game skill, and then there's a third category that we're not huge on, and it's just physical endurance / time available. So there might be someone who just doesn't have 20 hours to sit down and play Solid. There might be someone who can't sit down and play Solid for 20 hours to get to 1,000 waves, or however long it takes to get to 1,000 waves. I don't actually know. That's sort of like the one thing that we're not huge on with the Arena. We actually like most of the other things about it, and not necessarily everything, but the fact that it is a little bit, it's a little bit more simple. It's a little bit more straightforward. You can kind of just hop in and kill things, and that's sort of all it is, which is really all it was ever designed to be. And that's not to say it won't get new features that make it a little bit more interesting, but the fact that it doesn't have those... One of the key differences between the Arena and the Monolith, for example, is that there are these micro decisions, these micro meta decisions that happen all the time. So, and maybe they're not so micro, but the picking which echo you're going to take to help influence what type of challenge you're facing, and also what type of reward you're getting, that happening every echo, that's pretty frequent. That type of decision making doesn't exist in the Arena, and that's really intentional, that we've never added something like that to the Arena. I know people have come up with ideas where it's like, and maybe this is something we add down the road, maybe it's not, I don't know, maybe it's just like an optional version of it for a league or a season or cycle, sorry, where it's like every 5 waves, when there's a switch happens, after the rest, you have to pick a modifier, like a between like things deal more physical damage or things of higher crit chance, modifiers like that. And like that's an idea that gets suggested from the community pretty frequently, actually, and would not be hard to do. But we intentionally haven't done it yet because it would add those small constant decisions to the Arena, which is something that we like as a difference between the two systems. So we do want to have different endgame systems that have different, I guess, I don't know what the term for it is on the tip of my tongue, philosophical, it's not the right word. I don't know what the right word is, sorry. But different, like, design feel behind it, different... Hope you guys understand what I mean. Yeah. Kind of went on a tangent there. I hope that answered the question a bit. We've got a raiding party. 99 people coming in hot. Gretzky rolling in. Drinja, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Welcome everyone from Drinja's stream. If this is your first time here, I am a developer for this game that I'm playing right now. And I answer questions. So if you've got any questions, at me down in the chat, and I will get to it as soon as I can. If I miss it, I'm sorry. It's not intentional. I'm not sure if you saw what PoE is doing to use damage immunities as a mechanic in the new league. Do you think monster damage immunities could have a place in last Epoch? It's possible. We have very intentionally not included them up to this point, but that's not to say it'll never happen. Will there be a distribution system for parties, master loot, etc.? That will be answered in the FAQ coming out shortly. Will there be mechanics for dedicated support builds? Yeah, I think there's already a little bit of that. And I say a little bit because there's really not much. But yes. It's a short answer. Well, Arena only takes around 1 to 2 hours unless you play EQ, Bear, Taunt, Necro, or Shadow Daggers. If someone makes it to 1,000, it's just broken. Yeah. Yeah, like we in the past we've tried to have the like 300 be the like, oh, you made it a 300, that's a really good build. And it's not doing that right now. We got another raiding party, 3 people from Additional Baker. Welcome, guys. Thanks for checking us out. Check general chat, Discord, LE. Posted a screenshot comparison. I'm not gonna pop over there right now. Sorry. Those builds can AFK to 1K. Yeah, anytime you can do that, it's a problem. Or a blessing. No, a problem. Season 1 Archer gem right there. Original Cheryl, best Cheryl. Carol, whatever. After class, of course, rude to interrupt the teacher. Oh, yeah, and exalted increased melee damage, Zwayanda. I actually kind of like that. It's, yeah. Favorite LE subclass? Ah, that's tricky. I think it's Spellblade. I just love that, like, melee mage class. It's so good. It will be Druid in a little while. I'll tell you that much. I'm quite enjoying this Necromancer right now, though. It's just like whatever the most recent thing we've worked on. Okay, here's something. I can show you the staff I'm using. I'm not using a staff, actually. I'm using a wand. Oh, it's a mace. I'm using a mace. It is Eric's Bones. Eric's Bones? Eric's Bones? Like Eric's Bones, like it's Eric. I heard some changes to CC coming soon. No, maybe? What's the philosophy behind them? I don't know, because I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Is the fact that the gold need to be taken... Is the fact that the gold need to be taken was intentional, or technically it's hard to have automatic gold on your character? I don't understand the question. The gold need to be taken. I mean, like you don't have to actually get all the way to gold. Like, you just have to get near it and it picks it up. But like, do you mean like needing to actually walk over to it and pick it up? That's a, if that's what the question is, that's very much a thematic thing. Like, the monster dropped it, so you've got to go pick it up, and like separating that, like that interaction with the world. I think you lose something if you don't have those. Like, yeah, sometimes they can feel like tedious tasks that shouldn't need to be done, but I think you lose something of the, like, it's a role-playing game, and like the role you're playing is this person in the world, and as soon as you start to add too many convenience factors for things like gold just magically appears in your inventory as you kill things, I think it takes away from the feel of the game world itself. Bankai Killer Hunter, I don't think there's a help command here. Has Greek mythology in any way inspired Ellie? Oh, I'm sure. I can't give you specifics off the top of my head, but like, it's so influential in like so many forms of media, like indirectly or directly. I'm sure it's influenced us for sure. Like, okay, here it is. It was a huge influence in Titan Quest, and Titan Quest is a big influence on us, so... Yep, there's an indirect one. Any plans on adding a Twitch API to show equipped gear on streams? Yeah, it's another one of those we'd love to. Don't have time to make it happen right now. If anyone wants to do it for us... Feels like a complaint about having to walk up to gold. I prefer what happens to shards. Like, you want to have to click on it no matter what? Any plans on putting more incentives on maps for clear runs? Yeah. Better random loot crates? Yeah. That's a big topic we've been talking about, so yeah. I don't know specifically what it is. It does, like, clearing the run does make the chest drop at the end better. Like, how many things you get out of the chest, it does scale directly off of how many things you kill. But we've talked about a lot of different ways to change that, make it better. Yeah. Yes, but one click gather a bunch. The range on Gold's walk to pick up is, I think, the same as the vacuum range for shards. So it would actually make it less convenient to do that. But if that's what you're suggesting, that's totally a valid suggestion. I'm sure we also have plans later to link items in chat. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Someone was working on that last week, I think, actually. I don't know if they got it in or not, but... Or there was something we had to do to make it possible. Can't remember, sorry. Here we go. I'm so happy when we switch these to to these portals from the forges. It was such a great change. I remember when we saw the first like prototype version of one. It was so terrible looking compared to this, but it was like even the prototype version. It was basically just like a disc with a hole in it. It just felt so much better all of a sudden that we're like, yep, gotta switch. Not that the forges weren't great. Sorry, Jed. Do you plan to add a real money auction house? Absolutely not. No. We've been very clear that there will not be any pay-to-win options, and a real money auction house is absolutely a pay-to-win option. In the Void Cleave teaser post on the forums, it mentions new story content is coming. Yup. Is this Chapter 9, part of Chapter 9, or smaller story content to fill out the current story, or something else? I think it's all of Chapter 9. I could be wrong. I'm really not sure. But I think it's all of Chapter 9. May only be half of it. I'm not in the world design or quest design team. Yeah. We got a Twitch Prime sub from John Wayne. Very nice. Thank you, bud. And another Twitch T1 sub was gifted to Andrew Tilley from TNY. Those are names I see around here quite a bit. Thanks, guys. Good to have you with us. That's your 16th gift sub, TNY. Thank you. That's great. That is fantastic. Do you plan on adding cinematics or something like that to the game? Yeah, we want to get more in there. I really love the style. We've got another one. BGSS has sub with Twitch Prime. And Castle Hawkthorne, 2-month sub. Yeet. Attaboy. Thank you very much. Appreciate all of you. And so do they. Do you plan on adding cinematics or something like that to the game? Yeah, so I'm personally a huge fan of the cinematics that we have when you first make your character, and there's those like the shifting images that have like a voiceover that we're gonna put subtitles to. Don't worry. I'm a huge fan of that style of cinematic, and I don't have specifics on exactly how we're gonna do more of them, but I think that will be part of it because I really like those. I think it's a great way to tell a story. Yeah. Now they've started. If I don't move, can I just like... No, okay, I'm going to have to move. What part of the game are you in charge of? Skills. Skills are my baby. And it's not like I am the only person that does skills at all. We have a ton of people that work on skills. But I do most of the coordination for that, and a lot of the implementation and some of the design. And I do a bunch of other stuff too. No one really works on one thing. If I can ask 2 questions, absolutely. What % is the development of multiplayer? Can't answer it, I'm sorry. When will the game be released from early access? Also can't answer it, I'm sorry. 0 for 2. Oh, 4-2. We will be having multiplayer FAQ posts coming out later on, pretty soon though, that will give a lot of info on all sorts of different things, on how things are going to work, Which, and I said this, I feel like a broken record here, but people coming, people going, might as well keep saying it. Yeah, there's multiplayer post coming that will answer a lot of questions. It will not, I'll tell you right now, it will not answer the question, when is multiplayer coming out? So if you're going into that hoping for the answer to that question, it won't be there. I'm sorry. Any leaks? Sure. Okay, here is a description from a new skill that is completely unteased, completely unannounced. I may have teased the skill a little bit in one of my previous streams because I said like there's X number of skills coming or something like that. This is one of them. So this is a node from that skill's tree. So it says, whoa, interrupted llama, sub with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. What was I saying? Oh, it doesn't matter. Moving on to the next question. How far along in the last 2 classes? Well, there's 3 mastery classes missing, and not very far. Just kidding. I remember what I was saying. So here it is. So skill will consume 40 mana to use Forge Strike when you are at maximum stacks and on positive mana. Say it again. Skill will consume 40 mana to use Forge Strike when you are at maximum stacks and on positive mana. Yeah. Might have another one from that tree that I'll say later. Who knows? Arena key. Will Sentinel have a 4th subclass? Not at launch. No one will have a 4th subclass at launch. Bows to the skill developer and begins waving hand through the air. You just want to make judgment strong. You just want to make judgment strong. You just want to make judgment strong. I just want to make judgment strong. I just want to make judgment strong. Wait, what? Where am I? Judgment's getting some small tweaks this patch and some big tweaks later on. They won't even be tweaks, they'll be so big. Where are the bit sounds? I don't know how to get to them, actually. Is there like a link down below or something? Usually it's Judd playing them. Are there going to be any more passive point as quest rewards? Probably not. The volume of passive points that you get is we're pretty happy with it at this point. There might be some different things that show up as quest rewards. There might be more quests that show up that can be used as quest reward quests. So like one thing we really like is the idle slots. There's I don't know how many actual. I think there's 9 idle unlocks that happen. But there's like 13 quests that can unlock idle slots or something like that. Like there's more quests that can do it than there are actual slots. So that you can like pick and choose which ones you want to do. And that's a really small, but is an example of a way that we try to make the campaign a little bit dynamic. So maybe there's like a quest that's really easy to do on a rogue, but really hard to do on a sentinel, or like really easy to do with fire damage, but really hard to do with physical damage, or something like that. You can change which quests you do as you're leveling your character to make things not quite exactly the same every time. Or maybe there's just one you really like or one you really hate. You can pick and choose a little bit. And I say one really small example because there'll be other stuff, but it's a pretty basic one. When the game is fully released, will there be more content than the current beta phase, or will it be kind of the same? I mean, we release content. When you say like the current, so you mean like when we go from early access to fully released, that transition, will we add anything in that transition? Yeah, we'll add stuff in that transition. If you're talking about between now and then, we're gonna add a ton of stuff between now and then. Do you plan to add competitions, events, and race? Yes, we've already done a couple races, actually. They were a ton of fun. They were kind of janky the way we set them up, but they worked awesome, and we were very happy with the turnout. We've also had some community-led race events that have gone really, really well. There's a bunch of people in here that you can talk to about that, I know. If you want more info, I think one of them actually just finished. Apparently it went faster than people were expecting, I think. There's an Acolyte tournament going on right now. There we go. Is character customization planned? Not for launch, but hopefully post-launch, yes. Hello, Devman. Hello, me Mars Squeezy. Me Mars Squeezy? Me Mar Squeezy? Me Marks Easy? I don't know. I recently finished a remix of Shade of Everest song. I actually listened to that already. I saw it on our Reddit. What song from the last Epoch OST do you most want to hear a remix of? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the names of the songs that well. I just hear them. I hear a lot of them as they're getting made, which is really cool. I was talking about that a little bit earlier, but I don't have a good answer for you. I'm sorry. If anyone else in here has a strong opinion on it, please pop it up. I don't know much about music theory, music design, much about music at all, really, but I really like it. Especially good stuff. Which I'm probably not qualified to decide what's good. Since I never asked, how do you guys like the Orbis race? I love the fact that you guys are doing races. I think it's super cool, and I wish I had more time to get involved with them myself. Curious what the dev's take on it was. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. That I can speak for pretty well everyone on the team. I think that's the general consensus around the water cooler. Oh, I'm getting messaged. Am I in trouble? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I can't update that right now, Alex. Sorry. Apparently the sound alert stuff's not working. I will fix it for next stream, though, I promise. What are your feelings with the state of the crafting system? I love it. I think the crafting system is fantastic. I think that humans are generally not fantastic at being able to understand probability as it's happening, like in the short term compared to long term. Like I used to work at a casino, very briefly, but it's really interesting to see, like, because you're gambling when you craft. There's a percentage. It tells you what the percentage is. Just like at a casino, there's a little card on every single table that says what your percentages of winning are, and it says on those cards you're gonna lose. Like, they tell you up front that you're gonna lose, and in the long run, overall, you will. which is brutal, but it's true. Never actually gambled at a casino, which was kind of weird working at one. But anyways, it was really interesting to see those like gambling fallacies like up close and personal frequently. And I think a lot of those come through with the feeling that's involved with the current crafting system, which I don't think is healthy for the game overall. So I think that changes need to be made for like the sake of that feeling. Mike, a bit savage. Mike, learn math? No, it's not learn math. Even if you know and academically understand what's happening, the feelings and emotions behind it affect things really heavily, and it's almost impossible to separate the two. Like it happens to me too if I don't like take a step back and look at it as it's happening. It's hard not to, and like it's hard to even tell if it's working or not. Like I know in a lot of the threads with crafting discussions that we've had on the forums, I've like had to go back and check, and I've had to make tools to be able to tell if it's working or not, because it's so hard to judge. Even if you're looking at the probabilities and looking at the back end, it's so hard to judge if it's actually following reality or the expected values. Yeah. So I think that there's room for a lot of improvements in the crafting system so that it feels better. But the core functionality and how that works, I think, is really strong, and I really like it personally. We got another sub from Big Duffy, Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. That's not a bad shield, right? It's not a bad shield at all. So like, here, there's an 84% chance for this to be successful, right? So if we have, and like there's an 84% chance for this one, and there'll be a 84, if we do one of them it'll change, but like successful now it's 79% chance. But like, so even two, like let's say they're both 80. Even two chances at 80%, it feels like both of those should be kind of gimmies, right? And they're not at all. And like, to get both of those to succeed, it's only a 64% chance to happen, which we're getting pretty close to 50%. So if you do two 80% crafts in a row, here, let's try to do this. What am I doing? Okay, 3 of them in a row basically is 50%. So you do 3 80% crafts in a row, and you kind of instinctively expect them all to just work, right? But if you do that twice, one of those runs is, chances are, going to not work. It's going to break in one of those runs. And there's a 25% chance that both of them will break, you know? And so, like, doing a bunch of crafts at 80%, it feels like it should be successful. But odds are one of them's not going to work. And you're probably not going to remember the 80% that do, because they're just, that you go into it where you're like, it should have worked and it did, great, that doesn't matter. And then when it doesn't work, it's 80% it should have worked and it didn't, that sticks out as something wrong that happened. And it feels bad because it shouldn't have happened and it did and it was wrong. And that feeling is really memorable. And so you get these, like, maybe you do 100 crafts and the probabilities are all right, but there's like a few moments that stick out as being really wrong. Whereas, say you're crafting on something and the chance is down to like 20%, you're like, whatever, I'll just roll it, and you do it and you get it. And it's like awesome that's you're happy about it, it worked, wonderful, but it doesn't stick out anywhere near as much as that one, as any of those one times where it went wrong. And because you're having a lot more chances to have things go wrong than you are to have things go unexpectedly right. So you have a lot of chances for things to go unexpectedly wrong, and not a lot of chances of things to go unexpectedly right. So things go unexpectedly wrong a lot more often than things go unexpectedly right. So they stick out way more. We're looking to add more opportunities for things to go unexpectedly right, and when things go unexpectedly wrong, to have the punishment for that be less bad. So that when things go unexpectedly wrong, they don't stick out like a sore thumb. And when things go unexpectedly right, they do stick out like a sore thumb. Kind of want to flip that interaction a little bit. That's the goal of what we have for our crafting system. Who knows if we're going to be able to make it happen or not. Sorry, I missed a bunch of questions. Kind of went on a rant there. I'm sorry, guys. Hope that was okay. Is there a reward without punishment? No. And that's why there still needs to be a punishment. And there still needs to be a way for things to go wrong. But it has to, like, having that feel fair is really difficult and important. Is there part of LE that you currently feel is a bit weak compared to the rest? Meaning like sound design, graphics, animation, whatever. I don't think there's any one department that's really lagging behind. I think everyone's got weak spots in there. Like, there are skills that are significantly lagging behind other ones, that's for sure. Like, Judgment sucks. But I think the quality level's been rising very steadily across the board. Everyone's doing a great job. I've been especially impressed with the changes to animations recently. Because I have nothing to do with that, so I get to be impressed by it. Ever consider changing percentages on dice rolls? Yeah, it's really the same thing. But yeah, people have less of a concrete understanding of dice rolls, and there's less of a. In some cases, they can really help. In other cases, it can actually hurt it, I think, because like, people can not understand worse, if that makes any sense. Like it can be the assumption of what's going to happen can be further from the truth, and so the times when you unexpectedly fail can be even more frequent. I think people have a better instinctual grasp on, if I say you have a 50% chance to fail or a 50% chance to succeed, than roll 11 plus on a d20, you know? It's also important to note that we don't hide anything in our crafting percentages. Like, there's not a, oh, you failed 10 times in a row, so here you get a freebie or anything like that. A lot of systems do that. Rarely things with actual economies, though. Usually it's single-player games that do that. But a lot of single-player games do that. Any plans making idols possible to reroll their stat values? Not right now. We're pretty happy that they can't be. It's one of those things where you can get an idol that does what you're looking for pretty easily, and then... not super easily, but pretty easily, and then find an idol that, like, has really high rolls of that. It's difficult to do. And we try and design the idols such that they fit that system well. It's not always perfect. There's been talks that maybe changing the crafting fracture sound to something other than the sound of breaking glass would be less frustrating to add to the failure craft as well. Yeah, it's not a bad point. the little things, right? The whole UX that comes together. It's basically using people to drop an item and craft it right away, so missing that 80% chance feels really bad. Yeah, people who have the habit of saving up multiple bases to craft won't have the same experience. Totally agree with you on that one. Any plans on making idols possible? Oh, I already said that. Any updates regarding other endgame add-ons, Gates of Memoriam, Epoch's Call, and Eternity Cache? Not yet. Any updates regarding... Oh, I already read that. It's the same question, just right back to back. Yeah. When's the next patch? Kind of holding off till game's more polished, but bought it to support it. Well, thanks for supporting us. We don't have an exact date on the next patch. We're not too far out from it, though. We're finalizing what's gonna be, what are the main things we're gonna hit for that. You know. Definitely not all done yet. Add some fireworks to Fracture Sound. Problem fixed. Yeah. Congratulations! It broke! Wait, what? It'd be so terrible. People get so excited, they'll be like, wait, this is bad? Healing Giant Crab of Rage and healing... such a terribly juxtaposed name. I love it. Here we go. Let's change things up a bit. I got another little tease for you. Woo! Eyes on the prize, Mike. Come on. We're starting to feel the heat. All right. I can look away. Okay. Here's a node. Same skill as before. Completely different node. Each additional sword is replaced with Smite. Smite cast this way costs full mana cost per cast. Each additional sword is replaced with Smite. Smite cast this way costs full mana per cast. That's right, those crates. Invincible. I should just strap that crate to myself as armor. What do you think about scrapping crafting percentage and using colors instead without revealing the numbers behind? Some players can have a percentage of shade of yellow, meaning 70 to 80 or 80, and both could feel good about it. Yeah, we've considered that as well. That's not the system we're planning right now. The big problem with that is the percentage that it actually represents will come out. That's not something we're going to be able to keep hidden. And unless that percentage is like randomly rolled a little bit or something, so it's not perfect information, which would be a whole other can of worms, I think. It would just turn into an extra piece of hidden information that people would turn to the internet and chat for to get more details on. So it would be like, oh, it was green, and green could mean anywhere from 90 to 100% or something like that. And then, like, most of the time it's 100%. You don't know if you could use a, Glyph the Guardian to protect it that last little bit if you want to, like, make 100% sure or something. And it doesn't quite work the way you hope it would work, I don't think. We definitely considered that, though, as an option. And it's a good idea. Yeah, the spoon. I love the spoon. This spoon, the Alchemist Ladle, was bugged for a while. And it had the lowest percentage to drop. It was like there was a couple decimal places that got moved, and the percentage drop was so tiny that people were posting screenshots of it because you get enough people playing it, eventually someone will find it, and people were like calling them out for cheating. This was before there was like big databases for all the items and everything, and like people were posting screenshots and getting called out for cheating or something, or photoshopping it in or something, And it was pretty funny. And then I remember we fixed it, and I went to test the game right after fixing it, and it dropped in the very first zone of the game, which was very unlikely to happen, but possible. Wait, are you the Mike who worked on my unique J the product? Yes, I am. That's me. There was a bunch of us in there, but I'm one of the people who was there in that chat. Yeah, I'm the one named Mike in there. That's me. Your unique's real cool, and I'm super excited for it, by the way. We stumbled a little out of the gate for you, but we got our feet under ourselves pretty quick, I think. Did something happen to the Orion's Eye drop rate? Nope. Last tournament, 3 players dropped it in the first 2 days. No. Its drop rate has been untouched as far as I know. Did you consider tiered percent based off instability instead of having a percent go down each time? So like 0 to 25 instability would keep it at 90% static until you're outside the stability range. No, I don't think we've talked about that, but that still has the same problem of like the core, like just it bricking the item at a 90% as a possibility of something to happen, and like that same psychology behind it is still there. So I don't think that addresses the root problem. But it is a neat idea for a mechanic in general. Thoughts on adding a new rare glyph that lets you eternalize a fractured item, removing the fracture, reducing the item's instability by a certain amount, and randomizing 0 to 4 tier affixes, not the actual affixes, just the tier, and the item will only be eternalized once. Yeah. Not exactly the same as that, but we've talked about runes that do things like that. It's basically a reset of a fractured item. Has a chance to put it into a state that's really favorable for crafting, and a chance to put it into a state that's really not favorable for crafting. And that's a nice chest. It's also not a bad chest. Less awesome. Pretty good. I might try and see if I can pop a couple. Let's do a little crafting. I'm still on the right. Interesting. I guess it was meant to be. Let's craft. I forgot to never move myself back over. Whose job was it to tell me? It's no one's. That was a joke, by the way. Let's see if we can rip the dodge off this first. What are we doing here? Rune removal, random affix. I don't care about that. Okay, well. Start with a T6 vitality. Yeah, I mean... It's lucky. Lose a bunch of int here. That's not the end of the world, though. I do like the +1 skeleton a lot. Health and lightning res. What's our lightning res like? We can afford to lose that lightning res. Should we put health on there? What's just possible? Let's just slap some health on and see what happens. I think that's the chance of this happening is very low, and I think we are done pushing our luck. What actually happens to our health when we do this here? Yeah, it goes up quite a bit. Yay, 555. Here's the pipe, 5x5. We're just rolling with that. Screw everything else. Alright. Here, I'm gonna flip myself back. Over here. I like it over here. It's comfy. It's cozy. Could you make exalted nodes much more obvious? Exalted nodes much more obvious and other highlighting in game as well, such as when gambling. Like the exalted items, like this. We do need to put in some more accessibility options in general. I think there's some good wins there for sure for a lot of different accessibility problems. Can't see the chest webcam blocking. Oh, sorry. The crafting was visible though, right? People asking me to slam it more? No, I'm done with it. That's great. Are you kidding me, guys? Look at that. It's the worst possible roll on the skeleton damage. I don't care. Pretty crap rolls, actually. Whatever, though. No, it feels good, man. Feels great. Very happy with that upgrade. My skellies are a big portion of my damage. If you don't slam it, you say crafting system is flawed. The crafting system is flawed. That's why we're talking about changing it. When I just to be clear here, when I'm talking about people's perceptions of the system and how that affects like the how that affects their interaction with the crafting system, I don't think that's a problem with the people interacting with it. I think that's a problem with the system itself. I think people who are interacting with it and having those perceptions that are not positive interactions with it is completely normal and not a mistake or problem that they need to solve. It's a problem we need to solve. Definitely. All this health, I can just stand in here all day, no problem. My void res still isn't 75 though. Ooh. You show us an example of the flaws in Slam. I know when I've pushed my luck enough. Echo nodes in Monolith. The visual difference between Exalted Echo. Oh! I understand what you're talking about. In the when you're picking which echo to pick, the coloration of the background of the icon being purple is too subtle. Yes, I totally get you. Yes, that's a good point. Alchemist Ladle, drop right too low. See? Told you. Where did I get that can from? What? Would I slam it for charity? I don't want to say, guys, give it stuff and I'll slam it. I don't want. Oh, fine, I'll do it. Let me get the other one out. I'm not gonna do it in the middle of the echo because then I won't have a chess piece. But I've got a backup chess piece that's good enough. You guys wore me down. I'm not going till it breaks though. Just one more, okay? Whole ass out. Yep. I guess I gotta clear this echo more. No, fine, I'll do it. Has there been any talk of having quick swap item sets that let you be able to switch out items regardless of what character they're currently equipped on? Not really, no. We may have talked about that a little bit. I don't remember it. Someone brought it up. We don't really have plans for it. Do I have streamer mode enabled? No, it's not even turned on, guys. Probably should be. I don't feel good about this. You wore me down. And bend over and grab your toes. I'll allow that one in. Damn, I heard the sound! Damaging fracture too, no! Oh, it only took a health. It only took a health. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We'll still use it. Still use it. Oh, and we got a bunch of new subs here. TNY has gifted 5 subs to the channel. Thank you very much. Congratulations to anyone who got one of those. When are we getting a headhunter? Specifically a headhunter? We're not doing headhunter. A super rare, awesome item that can be found with great difficulty and is really, really cool and fun and awesome. I'm sure we'll get a few of those in there. No risk it, keep the biscuit. Weren't you the one telling me to do it? It was worth it. It's frustrating that it fractured. It sucks it was damaging, but it was only a single tier went down, so not the end of the world. It was like flipping a coin, you know? Just came up tails. Actually, at 48, it was like betting on black in roulette. I was reading. There was a casino. It was years ago, but apparently it's a really famous event that happened in a casino, and like black got on roulette. Black came up some ridiculous number of times in a row, and like. So many people just lost unbelievable amounts of money because they just kept betting on red. Because like, well, it has to show up eventually, right? And it was like one of the major case studies in like a gambler's fallacy stuff. I thought it was a pretty cool article. Can't remember the details of it. Someone out there knows it. Put it up. That'd be cool. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm innocent here. Tell yourself whatever you want. I know the truth. Will the campaign be finished all chapters before or when 1.0 releases? We've got a few. We've got plans for the storyline to continue after 1.0 release, but there will be a well-crafted story arc that will be available on launch. Guys, I remembered to go down across the bridge this time. Are you proud of me? I'm proud of me. I've got some passives to do. Two passive nodes to do. Do this in a minute. Can I ask, what are you planning to complete first, multiplayer or last class specialization? They're kind of on two different streams, so like, it's not really okay. When you're done working on multiplayer, you're gonna go put that class in, or when you're done working on that class, you're gonna go put multiplayer in. It's like you're working on multiplayer, you're working on putting classes and stuff in, type thing. There's a ton of overlap, but there's things from lots of departments that are not multiplayer related that are working on that as well. So like sound, VFX has people working on those things, don't really directly work on multiplayer stuff very much, you know? Game design, skill implementation, really. Lots of stuff. Well, there's a lot of overlap for skill implementation, actually, but... Say, I hope multiplayer's first. I love the flavor text on Gambler's Fallacy unique items, so fitting. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, I remember reading that. It was good. Can't remember who wrote that. I think it was Trisoki that wrote that. He writes most of the flavor texts. Would it be possible to edit, highlight the item filter options based on specific selected item? Tiered, like type base affix, so you could adjust it easily on the go. Would it be possible to edit, highlight the item filter options based on a specific selected item? So like, I mean, that's a cool idea. I have no idea how hard it would be to do, but like, I assume you're talking about, what I'm doing here, like taking an item and being like, this item make sure this item applies to this or something, like adjust it up or down so that this works with it or something. I don't know. That's a really cool idea. So you can like have it auto build the filter a little bit. Like make it like just drag a bunch of items into the categories, like show this, don't show this, show this, don't show this, show this, don't show this, and it would like build the most optimal way to have that show up. That would be really cool. It would be really hard to do. I don't know. It's a neat idea. Will there be a /players8 option? I don't know. Unlikely, I would say. That'll make more sense once you read the multiplayer FAQ. Monte Carlo Casino on August 18th, 1913, 26 times black in a row. That is exactly what I was talking about. Thank you very much, Lizard. I don't know. I think things like that are really cool. Weird casino story incoming. There was I was dealing a table of just 5-card poker. It's like you get a hand of 5 cards, whatever it is, what you get. There's a bone, and it's just like, is it better than the dealers? You win. If it's not, you lose. It's like the most basic game ever. But there was a bonus that was always $1, and if you played the bonus, it didn't matter if you beat the dealer or not. Certain hands paid out certain ratios on the bonus, no matter what. And if you got a royal flush when you're playing the bonus, you just won all the money that had been accumulating with the table since it opened. And whenever someone won the bonus on a royal flush, the table just closed. There's a giant counter on top of it that says how much it is. And it was up to like a few $1 million. And there's a lady that comes in every day. She'd love to come to the casino. I don't know, she had a ton of money or something. And for whatever reason, that day she wasn't playing the bonus. And I dealt her a royal flush. It was the only time I've ever dealt a royal flush. And she doesn't flinch. She just looks up and goes, "Oh well, next hand." Nothing. Like the most tame reaction like you could have possibly imagined. The person sitting beside her was freaking out. Yeah. I get the feeling she was really rich and just went there for fun, you know? Which is, if you're gonna gamble, that's the way to do it. You never gamble money you can't afford to lose. Alright, enough of that. Sorry, that was a weird tangent. Hello, I really love your game. The one issue I have is the performance. Yeah, we're working on it. I noticed this even in your stream right now. It's something that you are able to improve for the release version. I'm not getting performance hitches right now. If you are, it's possibly in the encoding process. My computer's not overly awesome. Some everything's there. It looks ultra smooth for me. If it doesn't look smooth for you guys, let me know. But like, this feels super smooth. Alright, where are we? We are also improving performance every patch, so yes. What do you think of doing something to prevent players like me to forget to pick up their first idols from the first idol quest? Maybe add them to either your inventory or temporary tab in your chest if the player logs out before picking them up, or both. Yeah, there's interesting stuff we've talked about with that. Dropping them on the ground was not our first choice for how to set that up, for sure. And the reason it didn't just get thrown in a like pop-up window, like claim your reward type thing here, it was it's a lot harder to do that. And it was right around the time we were transitioning a lot of our item systems. I think we should have a better quest reward system for item. Better quest reward system in general, actually. So that's something I'm sure we'll make. There's other concerns as well. Temporary tabs are a really good way to do it, because there's the same issue with the gambler's fallacy. We're talking about gambling a lot today. Gambler's fallacy unique reward quest, or the other one that you get from doing the less fun version of it. You know. It drops that unique on the ground as well. Similar problem. That has a beam and a sound, so it's a little harder to miss. But what am I trying to say? It's a similar problem to when we did the idle restructure. So the idle restructure was one of these two corners is 0, 0. I think this corner is 0, 0 right here. And so the idols used to be only this space here that I'm tracing with my cursor. And then we added on a lot of other ones and deleted this one. And there's technically a space in the corners. There's also a space technically there. So when everyone loaded in for the first time on the patch that changed the idle slots, any idols that were in a position that was illegal got dumped to your inventory. And then if it didn't fit in your inventory, it actually would have dropped on the ground. And that may have happened for some of you. I don't think it happened very much, because most people don't log out with a basically full inventory. Yeah. You should not gamble the chess piece you can't afford to lose. Thanks, Lizard. You're absolutely right. Should take my own advice, right? Did she fold the hand? That's the way the different casino story goes. No, there's no folding in that game. There's no decision. You get 5 cards, and either win or you lose. That's it. Most people never touch the cards when they're playing that game. They get dealt face up. Oh, there's a guy back there. Lore question time. Pew, pew, pew. Why can't the void and necrotic elements mix? They're like oil and water. They just don't make a solution. Chemistry jokes. I don't know. That is a question for our lore master, who I know right now is otherwise indisposed. I think if I was gonna guess, I think it's probably related to, like, so the necrotic really represents a, like the void comes from, I don't even want to say that because I don't know if it's true. It's representing different factions that are really opposing each other ideologically, I guess. So it's like mixing them in any sense where that power comes from is not great, I think. Is it oil and water emulsion? Maybe. That's why it doesn't form a solution. Is it emulsion a solution? Oh, it's been too long since I've taken any sort of chem class. I'm getting old, guys. But I am the lore master. Kyle, is that you? No, let me portal over there. It's fine. Trust me. Is it down or up? I think it's down. Oh, it's this thing. A patient infernal husk of shadows. So patient. Alright, we are getting pretty close to the end here. If anyone's got any more questions, please feel free to hit them into chat. I'm going to do one more echo. How far are we to this one? Probably pretty close to getting the next boss. I can do almost one. Not quite. I can do like 2/3, 3/4 of a. So this is of a timeline. This is the question someone was asking earlier about the different types. So like this is a set because it's green. This is not a set because it's not green, and like this is idols because it's teal and the icon as well. Are there any exalted ones? No, I don't have any exalted ones revealed. But yeah, like some of these that are a little bit more flashy because they're set or exalted might be a good idea to, or unique, it's orange, might be a good idea to have that be a little bit more prominent, I think. I'm so happy with how this turned out overall though. Like it was a lot of work. It was tough. Will you add more potion types to the game? Maybe potion throwing build like new one in PoE? I mean, we do literally have a potion throwing build already on the rogue acid flask. I don't know if we'll have more specific types of potions because we only have one potion slot. At most, I would say we get closer to what Diablo 3 has than what PoE has, where you like augment the slot. We do have things like that on gear already, so like belts predominantly have potion modifying affixes, and that's specifically because like your potions go in your belt, so your belt makes your potions better. That's kind of the theming behind it. I don't know, that might be something that comes up and gets added in later, but for now it's unlikely to be significantly different. Is there any Is there a certain corruption threshold that's ideal in order to farm highly desired items and affixes? I don't think so. There might be some mathematical thing I don't know about that, like if your build kills X enemy at Y speed and your defense can handle Z amount of punishment, you should be at corruption I. I know those are weird variables to jump around from and to, but it goes X, Y, Z, I, J, K. What about making potions not be bound to your belt? Changing belt sucks because you get 0 potions. We're really happy with how it's linked to the belt right now. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. It's possible. Have there been thoughts into potentially being able to transfer corruption from one monolith to another? We have talked about it. The big reason behind that I see get brought up a lot is so you like corruption can have a huge impact on how difficult something is, and especially once you're into the legendary ones, the level everyone's level 100. You get this one up to corruption 400 or something like that, and you're like, okay, I got the item that I wanted to get out of this, and then I'm going to hop to this one to try and get a different item. Suddenly you're starting at corruption 0 again, and it becomes trivial for quite a while. We're not exactly sure how to handle that issue, but it's definitely an issue. Yeah. A straight transfer's got other problems, but it's definitely something we're still looking at and working with. Lots of glyphs there. That was a nice one. Alright, well that's going to be the gameplay here. I got a couple questions here we're going to hammer through before we finish up. Small wish. When you implement a trade, leave a single currency for it, gold or any other currency, but not shards. It would be extremely silly and annoying. I want to buy a thing, but I need a particular shard, the only one I don't have. It would be a nightmare. I can't really confirm or deny that yet, but I think the post coming out with the multiplayer FAQ actually goes over that. So stay tuned, and you'll find out the answer to that, I think. At least not resetting the potions you have, please. Yeah, it's very rare that you're changing your belt in a high risk situation, I think. So I think we'd probably the better way to do it is just to like make a spot in town that you can fill your potions up for free or something, you know? What would you say is your personal favorite build in the game right now? I had to pick one or two. I mean, I'm really having a lot of fun with Volatile Zombie that I'm playing right here, right now. You can see the skills that I'm specialized in. Oh yeah, we've got our passive point. I think this is what we were doing. Yeah, just from the necrotic damage. Just because those boom, boom, boom is doing so good. Yeah, this one's good too, though. Let's pop a little extra intelligence because we lost some earlier. What's your guys' opinion on logout macro? Yeah, we've been talking about that one recently. That's we're right at the end here. I'm sorry I'm not going to talk about that in detail right now. There's a lot that goes into that question, from a network architecture standpoint, from a game design standpoint, from a hardcore softcore standpoint, from a competition standpoint. There's so much that goes into that question. So bring that next time. See you, sir. See you later, lizard. thought about giving increased corruption rate for people who are already a certain threshold, so you get 50% corruption bonus to your highest pushing for other timelines. Yeah, we've talked about stuff like that. Pineapple on pizza. I'm sorry, I love it. I know it's going to be a controversial thing, but I love it. Red or blue? Red. 100% red. The question's even blue or red, and I read it red or blue because red's so much better than blue. Okay. Let's go say hi to someone. Alright, so that's the stream. Thank you for coming. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a wonderful time. I had a ton of fun. I hope you did too, and we will see you next time. But for now, if you'd like to join me, we're going to go say hi to someone. I don't know who they are. I hope they're cool. If they're playing our games, that's a good start.